The Country Fest.
Oh.
The good old Country Fest.
Oh.
Don't start with me, Matt. Please don't. Let me block him out real
Country.
quick.
All
So
right.
the Country Fest
Country.
is happening this week.
Right.
Down in Canal, Fulton.
What is
Right.
Country Fest?
Right.
At Clay's Park.
So
This is amazing.
all right. So
Who doesn't love country?
So Country Fest. Okay. So first and foremost, Aaron Futrell. All right. Our number one commenter of network of all time. He says, just to let everybody know. So I put out the post. It's an informational post, and it is, hey, Country Fest is happening. So typically there's a lot of traffic, and it's a lot of RV home, a lot of motor homes are coming in. So you got RV traffic coming in. So that whole area is just completely congested, right?
Oh, it's gonna get weird there.
So
it's gonna be
so
a lot of country fans.
Well, so the point is, people were complaining about the lineup this year in terms of the singers. Like they didn't like the whatever. So we got that in the comment section. But then on top of that, Futrell comes off with a zinger, and he's like, just let everybody know that Copenhagen and Pabst Blue Ribbon is going to be sold out in the immediate vicinity. All right, so of course we do the stuff about, hey, Country Fest is happening, and then we get last night, and last night is DEFCON 1.
Yeah.
So if you remember the movie Cars, okay, you remember Mater.
I love Mater. He's
Mater
one of my favorites.
Mater goes, woohoo!
Yes,
he goes, I'm happier than a tornado in a trailer park. All
That's
right.
what that comes in.
That is literally what we were facing last
and
night.
We're shocked. Aaron said Copenhagen.
That's exactly what's
right.
going on.
So I see the thing happening in Sandusky, and I texted Blake because Blake's our guy. So Blake is
get in the field.
Blake's a sky-worn spotter, right? So he's been trained in all this stuff in meteorology and all these things. And we're starting to collaborate a partnership with the Ohio Weather Network.
Yeah.
So Ashley's over there. So Blake and Ashley, they do all the Doppler things, right? And they get all the messaging, and they get everything, all the models of everything that's happening with weather, right?
Yeah.
So he's our guy. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey, have you taken a look over to the west? He's like, oh my gosh, I was taking a nap, because Blake also works in his day job, and he's involved with security services. And I don't know if I can disclose exactly what he does, because he does a lot of stuff, and I'll say with various police departments in the area. I'll say it that way. All
He's
right.
knowledgeable.
I'll say it. He's very
He's plugged in, you guys. In other words, he's plugged in.
He's very connected.
That's all y'all need to know. Is he plugged in?
I really thought that was a live.
Yeah. I'm like, what was that?
Awesome.
What just happened? So point being, he's like, are we allowed to cuss on this show? What are our rules? Like, oh. All right, okay, got it. All right,
it's on YouTube.
All right,
right?
so
we're not saying that.
So can't say those two words. All right, so I was like, oh hell. All right, you might want to check. He's like, oh hell.
You asked for permission to say hell?
No, the other ones.
Oh, okay.
There's the five.
People don't think hell is a cuss word. So.
Yeah,
back to the Howard Stern days. There's the 7 dirty words, right?
Fair statement.
So, so I messaged him like, have you been watching this? He's like, oh, and like all of a sudden, Blake mode activated, right? Yeah. So at that point, then, my role and Kate's role, is to kind of just monitor stuff, right? So that's when he takes over. He does all the posts. So at this point, I'm like, hey, this thing's happening. And then he's like, dude, it just got for real. And he's like, I've just gotten word they're evacuating Country Fest. And I'm like,
and that's when you have,
and I go, hold on.
People.
One of our main original followers who's been following us for years has always lectured me and our team, don't post anything until you get 3 sources of confirmation. Right.
Okay.
So in other words, if you're evacuating a Country Fest, that's a big deal. Right.
Yeah.
So he was like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, make sure you're sure. And he's like, boom, I'm sure. And there goes the post. And it's right now, Country Fest is being evacuated.
Yeah.
Please head and seek shelter. Right. Yeah. So immediately the comment section's like, yeah, no, we're not evacuating. I don't know what you're talking about.
Was anybody even there?
The people that were there are starting to comment at us, and that's fake news.
Really? Because they're watching.
Because they're there
watching.
Because up on the screen it says Kane Brown is taking the stage in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. We were ahead of their information, which we typically will be because we have insider people that are doing these things.
It probably was just a small miscommunication, and people was going to grill us every time.
The point is when
that.
to get to make that decision as the Country Fest, which I would assume is not an easy decision because you got a lot of people, right? And now you got to do the logistics of that.
Yeah.
And we got a picture sent in on our comment section as well of people evacuating. Oh my gosh, it looks like Moses leaving the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Like there's just this line of people.
This is Park, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was obviously it's an intense moment because they have about 20 to 30 minutes to get the hell out of Dodge because there literally are tornadoes on the ground. Like we're tracking, like we're watching Mark Johnson, the Power of Five, and we're collaborating with Ashley as well at the same time. And they're tracking what are called debris fields, right? So the debris fields mean that there is a tornado and it is causing a problem and it is literally throwing debris. So they can radar that now.
Was there anything that hit there? Was there a tornado
So
here?
it went further to the south of Canal Fulton and it hit the Wooster area, right?
How?
And
How do you say that?
Worcester.
Wooster.
You got to get back on them about that.
Whoa. I went to Ashland and we got lectured
Wooster.
all the time. It's where the cows go. Muh. It's woo. Worcester. It's not woo.
So I'm just hearing Worcester sauce.
Never heard of a cow go what
That's all
before.
I'm
Never
hearing.
heard of it
Worcester.
before.
So
He's making up
So
stuff.
yeah,
Totally.
all I could think of,
What?
was Shreve. Because it was literally a year ago, almost to the day, that Shreve got knocked over by that derecho. You remember that?
Yeah, now
So
you
the
said
straight
it.
line derecho storm just demolished
blew
Shreve,
everything out.
Ohio. So the point is, we were like, okay, please don't hit Shreve. Just please don't hit.
Yeah.
And it hit Wooster, but it missed Shreve because Shreve at the same time, you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh.
What?
At the same time that Country Fest is going on, Shreve is having their swamp fest.
What is going
Wait a
on?
minute. Wait a minute.
Swamp fest.
What do you do with that?
I never heard of
You
that.
got to
before.
reach out.
my God,
You got to
next-
reach out.
Next time.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's all mudding.
That needs to be a topic next week. I want to know what swamp
We're going to have to
fest
come
is.
back to that
Swamp
one.
Fest.
Swamp Fest.
No,
I'm going to
it-
do some research on
and-
what
and-
on earth. It
Or
sounds,
tell us about it. How about that?
it sounds dirty.
There's got to be a viewer that's going to tell us about it.
And when we covered Shreve last year, they really appreciated it because they're a smaller town, right? But they're in the 330, and they were just wrecked. Like it was I've never seen devastation like that. People told me it was like what you see in a hurricane down in Florida.
Oh gosh,
You know, it was
that's not a good
Like
look.
it looked like a
Not a good-
giant
None of that.
had taken his arm and just karate chopped every tree in a 10-mile radius.
Mm.
It
But
was
none of this hit last night, and they missed Kane Brown, right?
Kane Brown got
Mhm.
canceled, and then of course we reported that, and people were arguing with us about that too. So
Knocking on
People
the
gonna
door.
argue with us if we say the sky blue. They don't care.
Shay,
They
how
just
much?
got something to
How
say.
much Kane Brown do you listen to? Is he,
Don't.
is he in your
Is
8
you
track
trying
right
to-
now?
I know you're trying to put me on the spot.
Aren't you? Because
Don't put me on the
because
spot.
I don't know.
Because them fans will tear me
that's what this is
into
about.
shreds. Y'all gonna tear me into shreds. I don't. Since Matt, yeah, he want to talk about me. I don't. Okay, but he knows I listen to the
She does.
music.
I asked her before we were talking, and she said one. I was like, name one person, and she did.
Yeah,
Say him again.
Keith Urban.
Bingo. See,
I
so
love
she
Keith
went
Urban.
for it. That was a good one. That was a
Boom.
good one.
And yeah, it can't
A
nobody say
lot of
nothing
people
bad
are
about Keith
knocking Kane.
Urban.
I don't know. I
Actually,
don't quite know why.
He's pretty good.
It's not bad. I'm gonna play some. It's not bad. I mean, but it's a little poppy country. I guess that's. I don't know.
So
I
what?
I like it.
So
It is what it is.